So that takes us to Indiana, which I think everyone agrees right now has gone from, a team that made the playoffs last year, lost in the first round. They were building all these young pieces, of course, Caitlin Clark, to now an immediate contender with all the moves.
You really thought Sue Bird was going to play nice? Not a chance. She took one look at the buzz around the Indiana Fever's title hopes and said, "Hold up, let's not get ahead of ourselves." Don't get it twisted, though. She wasn't writing them off. She was just keeping it real. Caitlin Clark's got game, no question about that, but championships aren't won with tweets or TikTok dances. Yeah, Angel Reese, that means you too.
Certainly stands out. I loved playing with Tosh.
But you cannot say enough
about Tosh. I really enjoyed playing with her. I think she really is she's just this glue player that doesn't get enough shine for what she does, because a lot of what she does doesn't show up in the box score, but she just is always in the right place at the right time. And a player like that, I think complements what.
And here's where things got spicy. Sue didn't hold back. She didn't play it safe with some lukewarm, the favor might be good take. Nope, she went all in. Sue Bird, the human basketball encyclopedia, the legend with more championships than Angel Reese, has layups this season. Laid it out plain and simple. The Indiana Fever are legit title contenders.
A player that, I would say a 3-and-D type player who has, been to the finals, so has that playoff experience. She's also just tough. She's mentally tough. She's physically tough. She brings an edge to them. And then last but not least, they added DeWanna Bonner, which really I think is the one that for most people took it to another level. So now you're like, oh.
Sue Bird looked at all the chatter around the Indiana Fever's championship hopes and gave it to us straight. Let's not crown them just yet. But don't get it twisted, she wasn't dismissing them. No, she was setting the record straight. Caitlin Clark's a generational talent. Nobody's denying that. The kid pulls up from a logo like it's a free throw. But Sue made it clear. Championships aren't won on Twitter, and they definitely aren't won by dancing on TikTok.
Bird is one of the greatest point guards of all time in the WNBA. And she's someone who obviously is a part owner in the Seattle Storm. So hyping up another team is a bit of a conflict.
Yeah, Angel Reese, she's looking at you. When Sue speaks, it means something. Let's be clear, Sue Bird isn't just some retired player throwing out hot takes for attention. This is a 4-time WNBA champion, 5-time Olympic gold medalist, and one of the greatest basketball minds to ever touch hardwood. She's played against legends, led dynasties, and knows exactly what it takes to win at the highest level. When she talks, it's not for clicks, it's because she sees something the rest of us are missing. And let's not forget, she's part owner of the Seattle Storm, hyping up another team. That's a conflict of interest if we're being honest. But that's what makes this even more real. Sue's not just tossing around compliments, she's making a statement. Beyond Caitlin Clark. If you think Sue's excitement is just about Caitlin Clark, you're missing the point. Sure, Clark is the box office draw, the one who pulls up from the parking lot and breaks records like it's her side hustle. But Sue sees the bigger picture. She sees a team that's been grinding long before Clark signed that rookie contract. Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, Aaliyah Boston, they've all been putting in the work, surviving those seasons with empty stands and growing pains. Caitlin's arrival didn't build this team, it ignited them. What was once a spark has turned into a wildfire, fueled by years of struggle and growth. It's about experience, it's about chemistry, and it's about pieces that fit. Sue sees what's brewing. Sue Bird doesn't throw around title contender like it's confetti. Her entire career was built on making smart decisions, on the court, off the court, with her words, and with her passes. If she's telling the world that the Indiana Fever have something special, she's not guessing. She's warning you. She sees the belief brewing in Indiana, a belief that's scarier than any individual talent. Talent alone doesn't win championships, belief does. It's that chip on the shoulder, that hunger for respect, that drive to prove everyone wrong. Sue recognizes it because she's lived it. She knows exactly how dangerous it can be. Not just hype, it's about winning. Let's make one thing clear. Indiana isn't just a fun young team anymore. They're not here to develop, they're here to win. And that should terrify the rest of the league. They've added veterans who know what it takes to win, players who've been deep in the playoffs, who understand the grind, who bring leadership and poise. When you add DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, and Sophie Cunningham to an already hungry young core, you're not just adding talent, you're adding championship DNA. And that changes everything. The Stephanie White factor. Here's the part people are overlooking. Stephanie White. This isn't some random coaching hire. Stephanie's been here before. She knows how to manage talent, how to build chemistry, and most importantly, how to win. And there's a built-in advantage here. She's already coached DeWanna Bonner. That chemistry is already built, that trust already earned. Stephanie knows exactly how to maximize Bonner's talents, how to fit her into the system, and how to use her as a veteran leader this young squad needs. This isn't just coaching, this is leadership. And that's why Sue Bird sees a serious problem brewing for the rest of the league. Cheryl Swoop's cold take. Oh, and let's not forget Cheryl Swoop's now infamous take about real talent never choosing Indiana. That comment is aging worse than milk left out in the sun. It's starting to look like one of those cold takes that end up on YouTube compilations with dramatic violin music playing in the background. You know the type, this didn't age well. Against all odds against Swoop's entire thesis, players are choosing Indiana. Not because they have to, but because they want to. It's not about Caitlin Clark being the only draw. It's about a team that's being built the right way. It's about a culture that players want to be a part of, a system that makes sense, and a vision that's clear. Free agency frenzy. This is where things get really juicy. Indiana Fever isn't just a team where players go to get minutes and pad their stats anymore. It's a destination, a place where you can actually win, where you can play on national TV, in front of sold-out arenas, with a fan base that's growing faster than Angel Reese's social media following. And the Fever isn't just collecting talent for the sake of it. Every signing, every trade, every draft pick has been part of a master plan. A blueprint designed to let Caitlin Clark shine without carrying the entire franchise on her back. DeWanna Bonner changes everything. Let's talk about DeWanna Bonner, because this wasn't just a veteran signing to boost morale. Bonner is a problem. A walking mismatch, a bucket getter, and a defensive stopper rolled into one. She's one of the all-time greats, still capable of giving defenders nightmares. With Bonner in the mix, the Fever aren't just in the conversation, they're at the table. Add Natasha Howard's two-way versatility and Sophie Cunningham's toughness, and you've got a roster that can compete with anyone. The super team narrative. And let's be honest, the narrative is already starting. Caitlin Clark needs a super team to win a championship. But that's missing the point entirely. This isn't about building a super team for the sake of star power. It's about building a contender the right way, from the ground up. It's about putting the right pieces around a generational talent to maximize her abilities without burning her out. Sue Bird knows what's coming. Sue Bird sees all of this. She recognizes the trajectory, the belief, and the blueprint being laid down in Indiana. She sees a team that's not just hoping to be great, but putting in the work to make it happen. And if you're still doubting, still clinging to the outdated narrative that Indiana isn't a destination, then it's time to rewrite that script. Because this isn't the same Fever team that's been rebuilding for years. This is a team on the rise, a team with a plan, and a team that's coming for the crown. Bottom line, Sue Bird doesn't do hype. She does reality. And the reality is, the Indiana Fever are coming. Not just to compete, but to win. And the rest of the league better be ready, because they're not waiting for anyone's approval. They're hunting for championships. And if Sue Bird says they're for real, believe her, because she's never been wrong before.